Alcohol is one of the most easily accessed drugs for the youth of today. It's just a social drink to make interactions easier. I don't know, let's talk about it. Now, before Advil or Tylenol, before Mary Jane and Molly, way before just getting high on life in general, there's always been alcohol. Now, is alcohol any less harmful than the rest of these drugs? I don't know. Now, for those of you who don't know, the standard alcoholic drink contains 3 to 40% ethanol, commonly called alcohol, and are divided into 3 categories. First category, very muchly drinking all across North America, is beer. Comes in a lot of different shapes and sizes. You have European beer, Canadian beer, whatever you like, beer's there. Wines. Now, wines is more of a classy, per se beverage. You can use it in cooking and it's just good to go along with nice dinners and such. And there are spirits. Spirits are just all hard liquor, and I'd say they range from 30% and up in ethanol percentage. Now, approximately 65% of countries contain laws on regulating the consumption and production of alcoholic beverages. In North America alone, there are many different legal age limits for the purchase and consumption of alcohol. In Canada, the age varies between 19 to 18, I'd say. I'd say the majority stands at 19 to purchase alcohol, and Quebec is one of our provinces who legal drinking and purchasing age is at 18. A couple other countries, for example, Colombia, the legal age is 18. Morocco has a legal age of 16. And in a lot of other countries, it's really a social lenience. There are a lot of social lenience, not really laws because they're not really written, but you can really purchase alcohol at any age, and there's not much someone can say to you about carrying around a 6-pack of beers at the age of 12. Canada is known for having a higher ethanol percentage in their common beer than the States, which is another fun fact. Although alcohol takes part in a large part of our North American culture, such as food, social settings, etc., there's also a powerful negative backdrop to alcohol. Alcohol is the number one leading causes of deaths on the road, so DUIs usually are the causes of death. Alcoholism is also one of the leading causes of depression in North America, and in Canada especially, there's a really bad history of depression, and it's a problem that we all need to face together. Alcohol is one of the main causes. This goes to show that abuse, something as harmful sounding as a couple beers, could result in tragedy. Underage drinking is also a recurring problem for the majority of people in North America. Now, more and more teenagers begin to drink alcohol less socially, and they abuse it more, per se. It doesn't exactly help that social media and all social figures in media promote the overconsumption as alcohol. Now, the biggest influence on the young youthful population are the older youthful population, so like 16 to 17, the seniors in high school to like the juniors, for example. So teenagers coming into high school in grade 9, they come into contact with a lot of new things. There's a bigger age demographic, so the maturity levels are very different, so it's also very threatening place to be. And socially, this is a time where the social interactions between the different age demographics come into play. So when I say the social interactions, I obviously mean social gatherings, so like parties per se. And this is when the abuse of alcohol comes into place. So at the age of 14, alcohol has tremendous impact on the brain, especially seen that in most situations, alcohol is extremely abused and is overconsumed. So over time, the abuse of alcohol on a developing mind can cause some long and short-term problems, such as liver damage, problems with the brain development, long-term drinking habits. But people think that only lifelong alcoholics can develop liver damage, but studies show that abuse early on in life of alcohol causes a lot of damage to the liver. When you are a teenager, the area in your brain responsible for developing behavior, emotion, reasoning, and judgment can be greatly harmed by alcohol abuse. So over time, your behavior can change, your emotions can change, your reasoning and judgment can completely change, and it can really change the root of the person that you are, and it's just a terrible thing. Alcohol also does take a major role in our culture in a social means. glass of wine at dinner is tradition kept with most families. Alcohol is also used in a lot of cooking and sometimes even baking. So although not completely, alcohol isn't just a terrible thing that we should shut down completely. Just regulate it and really just open the eyes to the youth and how the negative impacts of abusing alcohol are. With effects on changing of behavior, change in body, damage to liver, damage to brain. Just alcohol in general is a negative effect on the society of today, and the abuse and overconsumption of alcohol in the youth is just an equation for terrible outcomes. Now, ways to change this is to better educate the youth of the negative effects of abusing alcohol and to start a new leaf. So that way the future generation can be more aware of our mistakes and more aware of the negative effects of something as harmless sounding as 2 drinks. Thank you for your time.